Alright, hey guys, welcome to another one of these things. I don't even know what they are. I haven't come up with a name for them yet. Maybe I should do that. Anyway, so this week I thought I'd just talk about how I got into cubing, because there's always like a story behind that, even though it's pretty boring. But first, I'll say that it is pretty terrible. It's even worse than last week's, so I don't know why I bothered even keeping it, but I did, because I tried to make it better. I don't know. Don't judge me. As far as the angle, I think it's a little better, but it's still pretty bad. You can't see like the front face of the cube, because you want to see like the top, and then the front, and maybe the left side for like ideal spectating, but didn't work out. I don't know. I'll try to get a better one next week, as well as better average, and maybe I'll try to be more interesting, because so far, not so much. Anyway, alright, so how I got into cubing, it started back in, I think, 7th grade, middle school, when my friend, or neighbor at the time, well, neighbor, friend, I don't know, how do you even say that? Yeah, he brought a Rubik's Cube to school. I think a lot of people got started this way, but he just knew how to solve one, and impressed everyone, and being super competitive that I am for no reason, and it's a terrible trait to have for me personally. So he was solved it, and I was like, I want to do that, and I don't know if we actually had a cube laying around, but either bought one or something. I don't know. It was original Rubik's Cube brand, of course, and I learned how to solve it from the internet by Dan Brown or whatever, but he actually had a different tutorial that's now I think deleted or something, but I don't know. I learned from a different one that most people did. That's why I solve on white cross, even though a lot of people who learn first will solve on green or whatever. But yeah, so I learned how to solve it, and we kind of competed and everything, but we were really slow, obviously, but we think we're cool, because it's like 2-minute solves, but look at us, we can do it and you can't, ha ha ha. And there's actually, I think there was maybe a few other people who could solve it, or at least one, so there's like small competitions at like lunch or something, bring it to school. So then, after about maybe, I don't know, a few months, they kind of dropped out of it, or at least my neighbor, even though he was the one who got me into it and kind of kept me into it. So then my interest kind of faded from there. But I did start to learn F2L and Frederick. I originally learned it was for look last layer, and I know a lot of people don't actually learn that as their first method, but I did, so that made learning Frederick a bit easier, or CFOP, I don't know what to call it, who knows. I learned F2L, I was still really slow, but I kept cubing for maybe a few more months after my friend quit, and then I kind of quit myself. At the time, I did get, I believe, what was a Guhong or something like that. I don't actually remember. I don't have it with me anymore, but it was alright, I think. So fast forward maybe like 2 years or something, and in high school, I just picked it up. I don't really know why, I don't remember why, and I just started cubing again, and to my surprise, I broke my PBs within maybe a week or two, which seemed pretty crazy at the time since I spent like 6 months at least getting to that speed, but it didn't take long to get back there. And so that kind of got me hooked, even though I don't really know, even though there's no one else to cube with, but of course there's all the things online and everything, and I was reading a lot of the forums and speed solving and stuff like that. So I guess that's what got me into it. I would even like compare myself to the YouTubers and stuff, like JR Cuber at first, because I was a lot slower than him for a while, but eventually caught up. So when I picked it back up, I also got a new cube, which was Along V1, and I've only had 4 main cubes, which was Rubik's, and then Guhong, Along V1, and now the Thunderclap. But I had the Along V1 for a while, and I learned, like OLL and PLL, or PLL first, slowly learned OLL. So I went to my first competition later, maybe after like a year or so, after getting back into it. I don't actually remember, wait, no, yeah, so I got back into cubing in 2014, early 2014, and then there was a cubing competition I think a year from then. So by that time I'd gotten a lot faster and everything, but I still didn't really have anyone who was into cubing. But so yeah, I went to my first competition, and then I don't know. There's not much else to say. I just continuously got faster. I don't really know why. I just really like improving, I guess, especially since the times are so like just there. You can just beat them. It's a lot like golf, which I did for a while, where you can just keep on improving. Although it's hard, but yeah. So that's how I got where I am now. I know I just kind of skipped a big section, but really it's just I don't know practice. I wouldn't count the first part, the first like maybe 6 maybe year, I don't know, of cubing that I did. Even though I did learn F12 and everything, I still don't count that as really speed cubing because I was so slow. I would say I started speed cubing in 2014 and it's 2016 now, so it's been over 2.5 years and averaging in the mid to high tens by now. I mean, just looking at like Felix and stuff, I mean, they're crazy. It's like sub 10 within maybe a year and a half or something like that. And it's just mind blowing to me. He didn't even have the resources that we have now. I mean, you can like look up so much stuff, got better cubes. I don't even know. Anyway, that's all I have for this. I don't know. I'm gonna keep doing this. I'll probably talk about some other random things, like sports or something. Who knows? But anyway, see you next week. Or whenever. I really don't know, so.